Hi everyone, today I'm going to share a recipe that I make very often. This is my go-to sugar cookie recipe, and this is for rolling out cookies, like cutout cookies. So I need to start with a half a cup of softened butter. This has been sitting on the counter while I've been baking other things, so it's gotten nice and soft. That's a good trick to softening your butter and not getting it too soft. Next thing is 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Ooh. And this is a 1 cup measure, so we're doing a little bit of eyeballing there. Alright. Move my sugar out of the way. Okay, now slide this over so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to cream these together. Now we're going to add 1.5 cups of flour. This is just regular all-purpose flour. Okay. And we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now we're going to let all that mix together. We have a good mixture here, and this looks really sticky, and that's okay. We're going to put it in the fridge. We're going to wrap it in some plastic wrap or stick it in a baggie, or however you like to put things in the fridge. And we'll leave it in the fridge for at least an hour. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, you know, you have to do that because otherwise your butter will melt and that makes it sticky. And that's partly true. But the other part to that equation is that this is a very dry substance, and you need to let this dough rest so that it can hydrate all of that flour that you put in there. So giving it the time to just sit and get itself together makes a much better product. So give me a second. I'm going to grab some plastic wrap. It's always a fight with the plastic wrap to see who is going to come out victorious. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's not. Alright, slide this over. And our lovely little ball of dough here. So this will make about 2 dozen cookies. Those are your average size cookies, like I'd say they're probably like 2 to 3 inch cookies. And so you can see this is really soft dough, and that's fine. That's what I want. I want it to be nice and soft so that I don't have a tough cookie. So you're gonna kind of mash it down into a smaller thickness. That way when you pull it out of the fridge and you go to start rolling, you're already part of the way there. So make sure you get this nice and tight. You don't want any fridge smells going on, and you also don't want it dehydrating in your fridge. So that's what we look like, and we'll give that an hour in the fridge. Our cookie dough has been resting for probably right at 2 hours now, and I'm going to roll it out. This is a silicone mat. I'm going to put some flour on top. Not this much, but put some off to the side. It's always good to have more flour around than not enough. Get your rolling pin. Okay, because if you'll remember, this is a little bit sticky of a dough. Alright, and then I'm going to use these glass straws as my 1/4 inch thickness markers. That way I don't make my cookies too thin, and I also keep them even. So another trick that I like to do when making sugar cookies is I don't go ahead and preheat my oven. And that's because it makes my kitchen warm up too fast and my dough gets too warm too quickly. So I like to wait until I have all my cookies cut and then preheat my oven, or preheat them when I'm rolling out the second set. That way my kitchen doesn't get too hot. So we're going to do some bunnies. And goal is to get them as close as possible. Gonna do a couple little churches. Which these are actually branded as schoolhouses, but I think I can make them look like little churches. A couple little doves. And that one came up nicely where I can put it right onto my mat. So I have another one of these silicone mats on my baking sheet, and so there you can see the thickness right at 1/2 centimeter. So we're looking at right at 1/4 inch on the money. Now, lift these all up. You don't want to stick this right in your pile of flour. You want to put it off to the side. Just try and not add any more flour to it. Get these ones up. There's my cookie sheet of the first round, and then I'm going to slide it over and do my second round. Okay, so we're going to put all these back together, And be as gentle as we can, but at the same time you want to make sure that you mix it all together again well, because otherwise you'll get these weird layers that I don't appreciate. But you can probably hear it's still pretty sticky, which is great because that's making it go back together really well. So back to pretty much the dough we had before. So we're going to put some more flour on here. And we'll get that started on flattening out. We'll put our straws back to give us a good guide to start with. Get all these guys out of the way. Alright, now we'll repeat. And you can see this dough is much softer now that it's gotten warm. So see how fast we got to that 1/4 inch this time? Give it. So now you have to be careful because with it being softer, just the weight of the rolling pin could make it accidentally too thin. So here they are finished. They were in the oven at 350 for about 8 minutes. Here's the other batch. You can see they spread just a tiny little bit. I did put them in the refrigerator for 10 minutes while my oven was finishing its preheating. And now I'm going to let them cool on these mats for probably about 5 minutes, and then I'll remove them onto my drying rack and let them cool probably until morning.